Hello everyone. So today is Sunday and I thought I'll probably make a slightly different video. And on this channel, of course, I talk about quite a lot of things. Of course, the focus is mostly on Linux, org mode, Emacs, and owning your own data. And of course, from time to time, I also share things that I want to share, to be honest. And today I thought I'll probably talk about this little radio, which I believe everyone should have. I think you all should own one radio like this, a very simple one, and let me explain why. So, if you look at this particular radio, this is, of course, a slightly modern version of the old analog radios that we used to had when we were kids, with the dial to tune into AM or FM. This is a digital version of it, but I think it is still quite old fashioned. And the sound quality is, of course, nowhere near your standard stereo. I mean, there is no stereo, first of all. There might be a stereo because there is a headphone jack, so I guess the output is probably stereo, but there is only one speaker. So the sound quality is, of course, not really hi-fi or any good by today's standards. But to be honest, I think that is not really the purpose of this particular radio. Imagine that you're in a garden or maybe you're in a picnic and you just need a radio, or you just need to listen to some music in the background, usually, of course, on FM or AM. Then, of course, you can, carry it with you if you want to on a picnic. But more than that, I believe sometimes when you just want to relax, maybe you are, not really interested in watching any YouTube video or TV, and you just want to, relax, think about your life, and you may want to, tune into your local FM station or maybe your AM station. Yes, there is a mode for AM as well in this particular radio. And apart from, of course, listening to your local news or local station, there is also this clock, which I always find handy. And I always prefer, these clocks somewhere, usually analog version or digital version of it. For example, I also have this one here, which is basically a simple digital clock with not only the time but also the date, and also the temperature and humidity, which is, I think it is good to have. But I like the option of having a time here. And this particular radio is from a company called Onn, ONN. This is actually from Asta. I think you can get it from Asta. I think it is owned by Asta, but I'm sure you can find something similar on maybe Amazon. Or if you're from Delhi, I recommend you go to Chandni Chowk. There is a market there in front of the Red Fort, where you can find a lot of these things. There are a lot of shops selling speakers, amplifiers, and stuff like this. But of course, you can always find these things on Amazon. And apart from, I think, having the capability of like a proper radio, dedicated radio, like a device which you can keep in your house. And by the way, of course, I also have a mobile phone. I mean, not only my modern Android phone, but I also have that old phone which I showed you, which also comes with FM. But the thing with the mobile phone is that mobile phone batteries are limited, and of course, that particular FM feature in any mobile phone is basically just an application or maybe additional feature. I'm sure there is a chip somewhere, because you need, I think, some you definitely need a hardware, maybe a small circuit to catch those signals. But this particular device, I think it is quite sturdy if you look at the quality of this. And if you turn it on, the sound quality is, of course, not great, but it comes with this antenna. So this might not work, to be honest. You just need to make sure that you are uh, basically at the right, you have to tune it to the right angle, or I mean the antenna should be pointing towards a specific location or direction. So you have to basically work with it. And this one, of course, comes with a few memory settings. I mean, you can, of course, hear this song playing. So you can, I believe, have 10 memory settings. So you can save 10 stations, your favorite stations. And You can of course search for that specific frequency. It is of course very basic, so there is no like auto save feature. It will scan, it will stop, but you have to save it, I guess. And there is also of course this alarm feature, which I am not really using. I'm not really planning to use it. This particular radio is something which is right now running on 2 AA batteries, but there is also this 5-volt input, so there is a pin, and I have like plenty of chargers, so I'll probably find something. But I think the main purpose of this particular radio is that you have something at home which you can always use. Maybe in emergencies, you never really know, to be honest. I know it is very unlikely that there will be a power cut, especially in 2022, but you never really know. But if you have this small radio with the ability to at least listen to your local news, then I think you will feel safe. I feel a bit safe that I have a device that I can always use to I hope that never really happens, but you never really know these days. There is always some uncertainty about let us say a power outage, or maybe some kind of a trouble. So if let us say your house is without power for 2 days, I mean you can imagine that your phone will probably stop working after 2 days, but this will probably last for a month. And you can of course I like the idea of having batteries. I know these days everything is rechargeable. I mean you can always recharge, but when you have these batteries with you, I mean when you have a device that runs on a battery, you can always just insert a new one. So I always carry, or not carry, but yes, I do also carry like usually 4 AA batteries with me, rechargeable ones. And I'll also carry these slightly better Kodak AA batteries, and also AAA batteries with me all the time. But this is something that I think will probably, I mean even if you listen to this radio every day for maybe half an hour, I don't know, I need to do probably a test, but I think this will probably last for at least couple of months. And there is also this low battery indicator, so in case you need to replace batteries, you can. So I quite like this, and I think you should also. And by the way, there is a small this LCD panel, it has like a very nice blue color. When I was a kid, I actually had a few radios, and I actually have this fascination of these small devices, FM receivers. I also built one when I was in college, and also when I was in school, and I have some fascination. I think that is probably the case for most kids born in 80s. I think it is probably the best time, I guess, because I'm of course when you're born in 80s, you are, I think, not too old, you're not too young, but you have seen both the old way of living and also the new way. I think it was only in 90s when things changed drastically, and it was of course in late 90s when there was like a massive movement of internet. But when we were kids, there was no internet, or at least till when I was 17, I guess, maybe 18, yeah 17. So I mean there was internet. I think when I was in Delhi 1996, I remember there was internet also in 1997. Like you had to go to specific cyber cafes, but most of our childhood was basically radios like these were actually part of our childhood. And I also have this fascination about these radios that I always wanted to keep with me. I of course don't really use it every day, I'll be honest, but I feel assured, I feel good that I have it, I own it. And these things are really cheap. I think if you search on Amazon, you can probably I'm talking about Amazon in UK. I'm sure you can find something for £10, I guess, which is nothing. And if you go to Delhi, when I go to Delhi, I'll probably go to the Chandni Chowk market, the electronic market, and I'll probably get one which is like the really old proper analog version. And I'll probably do a review. Why not? Yeah, because these things are good. And I also am planning to because it has been a while. I don't really think in the last many years I have done anything with electronics. I used to do a few things, but not anymore. So I'm planning to build my own FM. So let us see how it goes. I don't really have all the all the necessary things like transistors or resistors. I also don't have the breadboard. I mean, not here. I have it one in Delhi, like one breadboard which you need to build circuit, which is always great. So I'll probably do that because it is fun, it is good for learning, and you can teach your kids about these things because these things last forever. No matter about, I mean, definitely mobile phones and maps and the internet revolution has come. Of course, it is still. I mean, we are still living in the age of or I should say the IT revolution. I think it is still happening, but these things are. I mean, the technology in this particular thing, and I'm glad that we still have radio stations, both AM, and FM. I think I read somewhere that there is a plan to phase out AM and FM station. I'm not really sure. I hope they never really do it. But I know for sure that the telephone lines, unfortunately, at least in UK, I know that they are probably because telephone lines are really. I think the telephone network in UK is like a military grade. They will last forever, and there is a power because you. I mean, I'm glad that I still have the telephone line at my home, and good thing about telephone line is that there is a power, so which is always great. So you don't really need external power to make a phone call. But I know that they are going to phase it out, which is sad. And now everything is fiber. I have a fiber line in front of my house, and I will definitely get it because why not? I mean, I would also love to have one Gbps connection, but I think it is still good to have these wonderful radios. All right, so that is all I wanted to talk about and share today with all of you. Get one for yourself as well. These things are great. All right, bye bye.